Hello everyone, Ken Phillibaum here with Victor Malik. Welcome back to the Stellar Show, episode 2. We made it back for a second time, and also don't let me forget the Duke here. Going to start off actually speaking of the Duke. I had someone reach out to me. They're like, so what's going on with Duke in the show? Well, part of it's a tribute to Mongo McMichael, which my buddy Jake Solomon caught. So Mongo, the first season of Monday Nitro had Pepe with him, who was his little dog. And speaking of Mongo, Mongo's struggling with ALS at the moment. Maybe send him a prayer, some good energy, some vibes. That's a man that, in my opinion, should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer at the time that he retired. He was real high, in all the, the important statistics of defensive linemen. Plus, he was a four horseman. So that should put him in every Hall of Fame right there. Any feedback on your end for the first show? The only one I got was Victor was chewing too much gum. So that being said, Here you go, sir.
I appreciate the input on that about the chewing of the gum and the smiling issue. So today I'm going to do this whole show with a frown.
Oh, I always thought I don't smile enough.
It was your voice that they were complaining about.
Mine?
No.
Oh, then they can get over that. But some hate mail? No, anything yet?
Probably after today.
Okay.
Today will probably be the first time we receive real hate mail.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? There's some Hall of Fame voters that are probably targeting me, and well, I welcome it.
Mongo for the Hall of Fame.
That's right. And so what else we got here? You know what? Let's touch, you got a card show coming up, Victor, here in a few weeks.
Card show is going to be on February 10th. And again, the Pack Attack is going to be the centerpiece of this. My friend Bryce Burgeon is going to run that. The last Pack Attack that we had here at the Uniontown Mall, it was sometime in the middle of November. We sold about 34 tickets for that. Already we've sold 44. So we're trying to get this to be as big a Pack Attack as possible. We're hoping to shoot for 65 to 75 kids in it. It's a wonderful time. We still have tickets, and we'll have tickets available all the way up until 2 days before. So if you haven't got your Pack Attack tickets, it's 724-550-4177 is the store number. You can get a hold of me and purchase a ticket over the phone. In person's always the best. We love seeing you at the store.
You got it right this time.
It's the Stellar Show.
There you go.
Important.
Well, you know what? Why don't we take this into the theme of the day, the grading here. So we're going to start our first topic of the day. Victor mentioned in our first episode that we're going to get into topics. A good one here is grading cards. So for those that might not be familiar, there's sports cards. The business has evolved over the years, and they grade conditions of cards, centering, authenticity, and whatnot. It started off with authenticating vintage cards, which was a great thing at the time because when the card shows started getting popular, the mid-'70s into the '90s, there was a lot of counterfeit cards out there. People were going home with, they thought they had Lou Gehrig cards, Babe Ruth cards, and then they later found out they didn't. So just like almost anything, everything started off with good intentions, but it kind of got a little crazy once the good money got behind it, no different than anything else in the world. So like these cards here, for example, we got some 1961 and 67 Topps Yankees cards. These were authenticated by Beckett, that those are originals. They weren't doctored, touched up, cut, any of that stuff. But unfortunately, the summer of '98, which I remember very well, McGuire and Sosa, it seemed like every time you put on SportsCenter, we're hitting home runs. Victor mentioned in the previous episode, there's 17 million 1987 Topps Mark McGuire cards that were printed. So those things are honestly...
That's one for every 4 people.
Honestly...
So there's a ton of them out there.
The piece of gum, in my opinion, is almost worth more than that Mark McGuire card until the graded aspect came in. What they started doing was, okay, that McGuire is only a graded a 5. But then they put the tag of Gem Mint on it, and that card went from being a $5 card up to about $3,000 at one point. And everything just kind of went into chaos from there. But I'm going to pitch this to Victor to kind of dissect how the formula that they used to come up with the grading.
Now, the key to all of this is understanding the 4 aspects of grading a card. There's the surface, the edges, the centering, and the corners. So my friend Jack, who helps me out a lot, purchased this on Amazon for $35. I actually can promote this because I think this is one of the best tools to use for grading a card. It's from Sports Cards HQ. It's $35 on Amazon. What you get out of this is a magnifying glass that works as a stand. anyone who's over the age of 25 understands that the older you get, the more light is important. This has a 2-function light on top of it, and what you can do with this, I don't know if you're able to see this or not. I'm going to turn the light off, but there's a second circle right here that really lets you look into the depth of the corners of the cards. And when PSA does a grade on the card, they use 10 magnification. This has a 5 magnification and a 30. So you're seeing everything plus what they're looking at. So if you see corners on a card that are white, sharp, and edgy, this thing, you have to pass with this first. Because a lot of these that look good to the naked eye, this reveals the ugly parts of it. So you just simply hold the card and look at it that way. That's one of the most important aspects of it. You can lose your mind and you can buy this as well. This is also 30 magnification. People use this for jewelry. Works just as well on a card.
I thought it was a whistle at first.
Yeah, what I thought when we opened this up too. If you don't want to buy all of this, a simple device from Walmart has 3, 8, and 11. Magnifications. If you put them all together, if you look at them with all 3 of them combined, you get 35 on that. Wonderful idea. The second part of this is where you're losing your mind a little bit. Looking at the centering of this card, you can see that the bottom is smaller than the top. But to really pay attention, because you're shooting for a PSA 10, Beckett 10, SCG. I knew there was going to be one today. There's first hate mail. But a micrometer that you can buy over at Walmart or even Harbor Freight for $19 can really take and give you a great idea. PSA will give you 60-40 on the centering on the card. That can still get you the PSA 10. The surfaces of the card with scratches, a lot of people, this is included in the kit, pair of gloves.
Let's see those gloves.
Go ahead. I got to grab something else while you're doing that.
I think they're bigger than Kenny Pickett's.
Moving on. It also comes with a centering board. So you would be able to put the card into the grooves on the board and determine what the centering is. There's descript lines that you can follow for centering of the card. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, the one thing about the older cards, this is something that a lot of people who find cards don't understand. What I do with the Henderson. When cards, you find them in the attic, these cards are printed with wax. So what happens on a hot day, if your electricity goes out and you have butter sitting on the kitchen table, the butter will actually melt at a certain degree. So does the wax on these cards, which will dimple the surfaces. This is why a lot of your older cards will not grade very high, because mostly they were stored in the attics during the summer, and the cards will, wax will separate and then come back together. Your newer cards are printed with a soy. Problem with a lot of the people who open the newer packs is you will find those cards that were stored in warehouses that weren't temperature controlled, they're all bricked together. So as soon as you have to do this with a pack of the newer cards, you've already lost your chance to get a PSA 10 on those cards. So any questions?
No, yeah, you're on the money.
Okay, so with this, I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
We got to open up we got to open up and start from scratch.
Go. Is that a good break? Oh, crap.
Keep that.
You can fix that.
No, keep it.
Let me start over.
No.
You suck.
Clearly.
So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to open up a pack of this year's Mosaic.
Hey, you know what?
My hate mail is going to be to him.
Get in line.
So with this, every card should grade a PSA 10.
And I'm glad I wanted to jump in on that. Feel free. So let's open every card out of this pack, in my opinion, should be a 10. This is a pack fresh.
I do believe in using gloves with opening cards.
And honestly,
with this, we're not going
for what you've paid for some of these packs, I would not be, especially for the higher end packs, I'm not going to tell you not to do that. Some of this stuff, but like you just pointed out, every card in this pack should grade a 10. The fact that it doesn't, what's going on at these warehouses, these manufacturers? Someone's not doing their job for every card that doesn't grade a 10. Just my humble, honest opinion.
And sometimes with these brand new packs, what I just did right here, cleaning your cards is also, I'm glad you reminded me of this. What I just did right there is created a fingerprint on the second card. If you don't clean the cards for fingerprint, dust them, you are not going to get the 10 on the card. So cleaning them is important. Oh. There's also problems with the chrome cards of today. Is they will have printer marks on them that look like streaks either going across or down. Yeah, you see a printer mark on a card, forget it.
Let's see what we got.
Okay, Tyreek Hill, Doug Flutie, nice. Dalvin Cook, Terry McLaurin, Nolan Smith, Derek Hall, now the colors, Roquan Smith, Chris Johnson, Brian Urlacher, David Carr, Anquan Bolden. With these newer cards, they're putting a lot of throwback players in, as you just saw right here. None of these guys are even on a current roster. Mike Williams and Thunder Lane from Frank Gore. Right? If you could see, I wish we could zoom in. There is a massive printer mark going across Frank Gore right there. Yeah. As I turn it, you can see it already. It's right there. So this card Hey, it's Victor again with the Stellar Show. By a wonderful happenstance, we got a chance to talk to Bryce Burgeon today about the Pack Attack. Bryce, tell the kids today what the Pack Attack is.
Well, here we go, Victor. I'm glad I stopped by today. Kids, if you want to have fun and you're 16 and under, come out to the Pack Attack Saturday, February 10th, 3 o'clock sharp. We've got tickets available. $65 a ticket. You're going to have a blast and you're going to get your money's worth. We open packs of cards, we do football, basketball, and baseball. We give away tons of prizes, and we got all kinds of crazy stuff for this Pack Attack. Autographed memorabilia, boxes of cards, graded cards, rookie cards, autographed cards, some big things at the end, and I always give away Victor's money in the form of gift certificates. It's a lot of fun though. And even if you don't want to do it, come up to the show, walk around the show, and watch the Pack Attack. We guarantee you'll do the next one.
That'll be the day before the Super Bowl on February 10th at the Uniontown Mall. Parents are welcome to come and watch their kids at the Pack Attack as well. We want to have a good time, so parents come up and watch them. It's like Christmas morning. Thanks, Bryce.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, how about that, huh? You took up my suggestion there.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to Channel 77, Fayette County TV, the Stellar Show, with myself and Victor here. We're going to jump into the Mail Day segment of the show. I got 2 things from the Steelers here I'm going to open up. I've received both of these within the last couple days to my neighbor that got one of these packages by mistake. You'll see why it's not a big deal when I said just chuck it up on my porch, because you're not going to damage anything. So here we go. Let's see if I can do this without.
That carry knife would have been so good.
Let's see if I can do this without hurting myself. Kids,
Duke
make
wants
sure
to see what's going on too.
Absolutely, get in there, Dookie.
Duke hasn't gotten enough camera time today.
Oh, you can never give him enough time. He's a big celebrity. Mm-hmm. How about that? He went from living in the animal shelter down the road to starring on a TV show here. You know,
if you can adopt a dog.
Absolutely, the cream always rises to the top.
He thinks there's like pedigree in there.
Oh, he knows it. He sees me open enough of this stuff. So what do we got here?
Is it going to be another Joey Porter thing?
It is actually. Good call. No. Joey Porter Jr., that is. So what do I have here? I got...
Oh, look at that.
Joey Porter Jr.'s visor from the Cleveland Browns game earlier this season. I know that wasn't really a good game for them, but still, anything Joey Porter Jr. for us Penn State/Steeler fans is a Penn State. A great addition to my collection. So that will go with all. Oh, absolutely.
As far as the collectability, this is what the Steelers Authenticity logo looks like.
And actually, here's if you want to zoom in on that. So you would punch in that number on the Steelers. If you go to the Steelers main site, you could find it in the options, and you could type in that number, and it'll show that the Steelers authenticated. This is what's described there. So next item I'm going to open up. So
Duke looks like he's ready to guard somebody.
Oh, he knows his role. So what we got going on here? So I got a lot of this stuff, getting rid of some of it, and also going to have some fun with this. So what I have in this package here, provided it's supposed to be what it is, going to give everyone here a chance to own what's in here, and I'll get into that once we open it up and make sure this is what it's supposed to be here. And like I said to my neighbor, you'll see why. I think, boy, I'm struggling here. I might need a grown-up to take care of this. We got any close by?
Duke, you want to take over? There you go.
All right. So what we got going on here is this is Kenny Pickett's belt towel from the Baltimore Ravens game on January 1st, 2024. Now, granted, he did not start that game, but still, you know what? It's a nice piece to add to your collection. Shadow boxes, it can be purchased at Target, Walmart, wherever. They display these real nice. It actually, you can do it yourself, very reasonably cheap.
If I could for
absolutely.
a second. Again, when you're dealing with the Steelers directly, you see the tag right there that shows that it is certified by the Steelers. You have the certificate of authenticity.
Well, actually, the authenticity right there on this particular item. So what I'm doing with this here, I got a few passion projects on the home front I'm working on. Plus, I want to help out the people that helped out my buddy Duke here. So this is going to go on a tip board that you can, the only place to pull is here in the shop. If you come into the shop here, there's 100 pulls on here at $5 a piece. Some of that money is going to go to the junior football in Mount Pleasant that I'm involved with. We're starting a Hall of Fame this year to honor some people that's kept that thing going for as many years as it has. Also, I'm starting a dog park for my friend here, Duke, and all his other friends throughout Mount Pleasant and the surrounding areas, bullskin, whatnot, to come over and use. So, like I said, that'll help them out. And also, like I said, some of that money is going to go over to Fay and Animal Friends to help out other four-legged dogs and cats like my little buddy here.
Not for a cheap pop for the store or anything, but if you're interested in buying the tips, we're located in the central entrance at the Uniontown Mall. Mall hours are 11 to 7 Monday through Saturday and 11 to 5 on Sunday. I'll be more than happy to sell you as many tips as you want. Pass the word around because the two causes that Kenny's working on right now are very good.
It's all right. Another thing, too, so another tip board that I have started, I'll share the link at some point on one of our pages. This is James Conner's practice jersey from 2018. He went to the Pro Bowl that year. There will be a chance that this will be pulled online. Like I said, we'll share the links for you once that's up and running, and that will be helping out the causes that I mentioned as well. So speaking of Steelers, let's get into the fun stuff. Let's wrap up 2013. Let's start with the obvious. It's been in the news all week, Mike Tomlin. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on Mike Tomlin, as I mentioned last time, you're dangerously close to a Jamie Dixon situation at the University of Pittsburgh, where if you take someone who's established like Mike Tomlin and you get rid of him, you could go into a downward spiral for a while. But on the other hand, right now, we're looking at this whole situation the wrong way. We're afraid that another team is going to come and take Tomlin in 5 minutes. I don't think there's a coach on a plane right now going for an interview who, if he found out the Steelers were available as a coaching position, wouldn't turn that plane around and come back to Pittsburgh. I think you would have the pick of the litter.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody would want that job because you're guaranteed 15 years without the chance of being fired. So right now, it could go either way. When we come back next time, I'm going to introduce you to a website called Spot Track, and you're going to see on Spot Track where the Steelers made a lot of mistakes this year, overpaying on a lot of players.
It's not just this year, it's been over the years.
The chickens came home to roost this year.
As far as Tomlin, I think at this point you got a year remaining on the contract. It's rumors that they're likely going to extend him. I was like you pointed out, I could argue good and bad. I think at this point, yeah, if you're fine with getting into the playoffs and floating around 500, this is your guy. But if you want to get to the Super Bowl, I don't know if this is the guy. Look, one of my favorite pieces of memorabilia is something that Mike Tomlin wore during his 100th win. And so, I defended this guy for many years, and I still will, but it's just, he hasn't shown that they've taken a step backwards instead of a step forward with him. And he needs to get it back and he needs to get it out of neutral and reverse. That's where I'm at with him.
Okay. So, all I know is it's 38 days to spring training. Pirates are coming.
We'll address that another time. But you know what? Let's talk about the Steelers a little more. So the quarterback situation. Mason Rudolph is a free agent. Do they sign him, try to bring him back? He's not signing a one-year deal. There's teams like Denver that's allegedly rumored to be interested in him. It wouldn't be a bad fit for him, but he's got to accept wherever he goes. They're likely drafting a quarterback in the first round, and he's just a bridge. till that quarterback's ready.
I have the problem with what you're saying right now is the free agent market right now. Kirk Cousins is 35 years old and is going to require $30 million. And next week when I show you on Spot Track, the Steelers do have, if they cut a few certain players that should be cut, they're being way overpaid, which I guess you could go back to Kevin Colbert and give Omar Khan the time to fix the salary cap in the roster.
He was the money guy for Kevin Colbert, so let's not give him a free pass.
But I don't see the Steelers as bringing in a Kirk Cousins. The wild card to me is I don't know.
No, that's his name. I would stick with Mason Rudolph before I would go Russell Wilson.
I think Russell Wilson's playing out the string as a player right now and doesn't really want to play that hard. He looks like he's trying to avoid contact too much. I would go after, as painful as this is for Steeler Nation, Baker Mayfield wouldn't be, he's an outright free agent. That would be someone, if you could get Baker Mayfield at $15 million, somewhere around there, and draft a quarterback to develop, I think that's your path forward. Unless Kenny Pickett gains 20 pounds and gets a rocket arm for Christmas.
Well, I think they're committed to Pickett for at least another year. That's just my opinion, observation. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. He's shown flashes, but then once again, he's also kind of shown a guy that's stuck in neutral, in my opinion. So we'll see going forward.
38
I guess
days to spring training.
Next year, you know what? You mentioned some of these bad contracts and whatnot. You know what? Cameron Hayward's on the hook for $15 million next
22.
year. 22. Okay.
22.
Well, I think if they cut him, it's 15.
That would probably
be
correct.
Don't hold me to the specifics of that. But that's a guy. Does he retire? If he says he's coming back, do they move on from him?
If he could come back in a Willie Stargell type role, like Captain Willie did in 1979, I don't think the Pirates have a World Series without Willie Stargell. No. But Willie Stargell was well past his prime. But you need someone like that on the team.
Absolutely.
This is a team that Najee Harris is complaining doesn't have a leader on it. Take Cameron Hayward away. Yeah. What kind of leaders do you have on that team?
And I agree with that, but they would just have to restructure that.
Why not go Ohtani with that? Because
it's a salary. The structure is all different. Plus, I think the state of California stepping in on Ohtani's deal. We'll save that one for spring training. But I wanted to have a fun. So Cameron Hayward, if he's retired this year or just they move on from him, if you had to pick right now, is he the greatest Steeler ever during the Super Bowl era to start and finish his career as a Steeler but not play in a Super Bowl? And remember, Tim Worley did play with the Bears briefly.
You went Tim Worley. What about John Reenstra at that point? Jason Gilden, maybe?
No, Texans.
Lamar Woodley.
No, Raiders. Plus, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna show him this and add that to that DM.
That DM's gonna get me. No, I would agree with you that. Well, if things don't change, T.J. Watt's gonna be on that list.
Oh well, he'll pass him, but there's
at some point. So we're rooting for things to change down there and to get a more competitive team.
Are you a member of the In-Group? The Fayette Chamber of Commerce is working hand in hand with the business community, local organizations, and county government to build a strong and vibrant county. Discover Fayette County. Join the In-Group today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fayette County TV, Channel 77 here. Also, you can find us on YouTube, setting up some fan pages on Facebook and Instagram. Please check us out on all of them. Give them likings, subscribes, all that good stuff. And Victor, you mentioned earlier off camera about your cousin. I think this is a great story. Go ahead.
Hey, everybody, I'm back again. Jack Squirick was a linebacker with the Oakland Raiders back in the 80s. He's my dad's cousin, and he just recently passed away. Not many people who have ties to Uniontown, PA get to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. How this story happened is in week 2, Washington played the Oakland Raiders and ran a screen pass with a guy named Joe Washington, and they had a 98-yard touchdown out of the play. The Raiders defensive coordinator at the time talked to my dad's cousin, whatever that would be to me, but talked to Jack and said, when these two met in the Super Bowl, we're going to wait for this play. So what happened is the Raiders punted down to the 3-yard line. It was the perfect redo of the scenario. The guy throws Jack into the game. Joe Theismann drops back to do a screen pass left. Jack takes 3 steps forward and gets his picture on the cover of Sports Illustrated. In a sidebar, He is in the background of the Sporting News magazine as well. When a punt got blocked, he made the cover of Sporting News and Sports Illustrated and only was on the field for, I think, 4 or 5 plays the whole entire game.
And you got a ring, too.
Got a ring.
That's right. All right, we're about to wrap this. Hold on here. What's going on? Gonna wrap this up here and...
oh, wait, 1 second. Before you wrap it up, guys, I'm an idiot. I have 2 pieces of memorabilia that I need to find a way to get a hold of the people. It's a the Coach of the TV show script that has been signed by everybody. It's authenticated. It's here. I lost you guys' phone numbers, as well as a black Steeler football signed by Hines Ward and James Ferrier. You guys know who you are. Please come up to the store and pick those things up.
Oh, you know, I got some
Is that
more.
one of them calling?
No, actually, I got some other mail for you. Looks like Lamar Woodley's finally responding to my direct mail.
See you guys next week.
All right, we'll see you next week. Maybe.